In Alberta, Canada, there exists a town that serves as the ultimate dream for any dinosaur enthusiast, Drumheller. This place is incredible. There's dinosaur statues everywhere you look. There's a gas station that also sells dinosaur fossils as well as gas and chips. And then there's this, a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex statue affectionately named Tyrell. Unveiled as a tourist attraction in the year 2000, she weighs 65 tons and stands 4 times taller than an actual Tyrannosaurus Rex, at a height of 25 meters tall. Unfortunately, her days are numbered as she's scheduled to be taken down in 2029. Here's me and my dad next to this thing's foot so you can gauge a better idea of the size of this beast. As well as dinosaur everything, this place is also really quite beautiful in terms of the surrounding area. There's enormous rock spires, canyons, and it's just incredible. It's a bit like South Dakota, really. There's also a really cool fossil shop in town where you can purchase real-life dinosaur fossils and many more other items. I picked up this megalodon tooth to add to the collection, which I show off in a previous video, so I'll put a card up there on the top of the screen. But likely the most famous bit about this place is the Royal Tyrrell Museum. Probably Canada's most famous dinosaur museum. It's really cool. So let's go on a bit of a tour of it right now. Upon getting past the front desk of the museum, you are greeted by a family of Albertosaurus. These statues are incredible. Although they're a little bit outdated, no lips, lack of speculative feathers, the paleo nerd among you will know what I'm talking about. Still though, they're really, really cool and a great start to the museum. Being a fellow cousin of Tyrannosaurus Rex, the Albertosaurus has an immensely strong bite force, and 3 of its teeth are on display here. In this first room of the museum, they also have on display the Prognathodon. This is a species of mosasaur that lived right alongside its larger and more famous cousin, Mosasaurus hoffmanii itself. It lived in Alberta 75 million years ago and could grow up to lengths of between 6 to just under 14 meters long. They also have on display the tailed clubs of 2 ankylosaur species, members of the dinosaur group that are known for their tails. The 2 species showcased here are Anodontosaurus and Euoplocephalus, 2 ankylosaur species from the late Cretaceous period. They also just so happen to both live in Alberta. They also had on display the skull of a Triceratops. In fact, this is actually the most well-preserved specimen of a Triceratops skull known from the country. And the skull of Carnotaurus, the meat-eating bull, an abelosaurid from Patagonia 83 to 66 million years ago. No doubt one of the most famous specimens showcased in this museum is Black Beauty, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The reason for the name Black Beauty comes from the blackened color of the bone, which was darkened by the element manganese, which was present in the water where it was buried. The real skull of this specimen is also on display to the right of this mount, and the reason why it's not attached to the rest of the skeleton is because it's too heavy to be put into a pose like that. After checking out Black Beauty, we spin around and enter the Breakthroughs exhibit. This is the most recent exhibit to be opened in the Royal Tyrrell Museum, as it opened in May of 2025. Within this exhibit, one can marvel upon probably the most famous specimen in this entire museum, the Borealopelta. This is the only example of this 110 million year old species to have ever been unearthed, and it's also the most well-preserved dinosaur fossil possibly ever. I mean, just look at it. Coming out of the Breakthroughs exhibit now, we take a journey through time, beginning 540 million years ago with the Cambrian era and ending with the Cenozoic era, from 66 million years ago to the present. We begin with Dunkleosteus. This prehistoric fish lived in the Devonian period 358 million years ago and was one of the first vertebrate apex predators to have ever lived on Earth. Moving on, we have a pretty famous dinosaur known as Dimetrodon, but it isn't a dinosaur. It's actually an animal known as a synapsid, which refers to creatures that have some sort of bone in their face that allows for muscle attachment. I don't really know too much about it, but some of you will, I know. But the fun fact here is that Dimetrodon is actually more related to humans than we are to any dinosaur that has ever lived ever. Cenozoic is a genus of very, very large ichthyosaurs. In fact, it's one of the largest ever known. It lived in the Triassic period 227 million years ago in Nevada, USA. From here, we enter the main section of this exhibit. This is where most of the museum's collection of dinosaur skeletons are housed and displayed. Upon entering this room, you're greeted with 3 of the most famous species from Jurassic North America. The Jurassic was a time when dinosaurs really started to pop off, populating most, if not all, of the globe and diversifying into an enormous array of species. Moving forward in time into the Cretaceous period, we find species such as Chasmosaurus, a North American species of late Cretaceous Chasmosaurine ceratopsian with the name referring to the holes in its skull, as the name Chasmosaurus means opening lizard. We also find this matchup, Euoplocephalus versus what I believe is either Gorgosaurus or Albertosaurus. I can't really tell which one, they're both very similar. The museum also has quite a lot of things to do with this species called Pachyrhinosaurus, including this skeleton, as well as the many different statues that can be found outside of the entrance to the museum. Speaking of ceratopsians, the museum also has on display the skulls of several ceratopsians, including representatives of the Chasmosaurines and the Centrosaurines. Several hadrosaur species can also be found here, such as this Lambeosaurus, I think, and Myosaura. They have Gorgosaurus, a tyrannosaurid theropod, which is so similar to its cousin Albertosaurus that I honestly really struggle to tell the difference between the two. So if there's any of you who are actually good at doing that, feel free to just enlighten me a little bit in the comments. 2 other dinosaurs that are significantly easier to identify are Triceratops and Tyrannosaurus rex, species that I'm pretty sure every museum has in their collection. But it makes sense given that they are the most popular dinosaurs after all. In a separate smaller room within this part of the exhibit, with glass walls no less, one can find several different species of marine reptile that can be found in the Bear Paw Sea, an underwater ecosystem that covered Alberta about 74 million years ago. The last part of this exhibit, and of the museum as a whole, is the Cenozoic era, where several different species of prehistoric animal can be found. I am rubbish at identifying prehistoric animals because their skulls are just so elaborate and crazy that I can't tell them apart at all, but I do know that that is a woolly rhino, so I have that going for me. But if anybody knows what these other ones are, please do tell me in the comments, because I really want to know about this. Overall, Drumheller was amazing. I've been obsessed with dinosaurs ever since I was a kid, really, as long as I can really remember. So to know that there is a town out there that is themed after dinosaurs and nothing else is just awesome. I love it. That's it for this video once again, but be sure to stay tuned as there'll be more dinosaur museum content coming very soon. Catch you in the next one.